today workshop is based on data science, which is a versatile field which has found applications including healthcare, banking, e-commerce, business, and consultancy services. However, only a handful of institutes possess the requisite skill set to make it big in data science. This workshop will cover topics like data analytics, data science for social networks, knowledge graphs, and data science using Python. We have eminent personalities for these 2 days, amongst who will share their views, thoughts, and this versatile eminent personality. Today, we have our eminent personality, Dr. Doreen Robin M.E.
Thank you, ma'am.
Who will share her thoughts on data science using Python. We have a short presentation. Just a minute. It is shared the screen. Can you see the screen now?
Yes, ma'am, we could see the screen. Yes, we could see.
Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am, we could see the screen.
Okay. We have Dr. Doreen Robin, Director of Computational Intelligence, Business Foundation. Ma'am has completed a B.Tech in Information Technology from Madras University and M.E. in Computer Science and Engineering from Anna University and a PhD in Computer Science and Engineering from same Anna University. Her research interests are, which includes parallel and distributed computing, peer-to-peer computing, computing, cloud computing, big data analytics. She has published about 30 papers in international journals and conferences. She is a life member of our ICE. She is a reviewer for Computer and Electrical Journal and Future Generation Computer Science journals. She has been a resource person for the workshop Big Data Analytics using Nano and data using Python, machine learning, deep learning, computing, software testing. And so right now, I request Dr. Doreen ma'am to take up the platform.
Thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful introduction and presentation. Are you able to hear me? Yes, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Fatima, for responding in the chat. Thank you, Shamina. So I'll share my screen with you. All right. Okay. So is my screen seen to you all? Is my screen shared? Are you able to see my screen? Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. So, a very good morning to one and all present here. On behalf of Computational Intelligence Research Foundation, I thank Saveetha School of Engineering, the Department of Statistics and Random Process, especially my special thanks goes to Dr. Frida ma'am for having invited me to give the talk on data science using Python. So the next 1.5 hours, we are going into the data science and Python. So wonderful to see you all. So before when I start my session, we'll have a couple of questions. You can respond in the chat sessions. All right. Okay. How are you all doing today? Hello. How are good? Thank you, Fatima. Very well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Great, ma'am. Fine. Very well. Going good. Yes. Going good. Good. Okay. Nice to get responses. Yes, let me hear from others also. To be nice to see. Yes. Thank you, Shanta Mary ma'am. I don't know whether you're ma'am or you're a student. All right. Yeah, doing well, Shamina ma'am. Thank you so much. By the grace of God, doing well. Amen. Thank you, Shweta. Too good, Shweta. Yes, thank you, Menaka ma'am. All right. Yes. So I just asked you a simple question. How are you doing today? Okay, that was a very simple question. And for that question, you can see on your chat boxes the different answers, right? Fine, too good, fine. Somebody's mic is on. Somebody's mic is on. Can you put on mute, please? Thank you. All right. Okay. So I asked a simple question. Okay, how are you doing today? Fine, too good, fine, ma'am. And one Shamina questioned me, how about you? Okay, superb, Shantamadi. Okay, Nangai, yeah, Nangai. Nangai Shri, good ma'am, going good, great, fine, doing well, very well. See, for one simple question, it was just one simple question, and we had so many answers, but everything is responding it to be they are good. In this pandemic situation, if we hear from people that they are doing good, then it is by the grace and mercy of God that God has protected us. Okay, so here this is a simple example for data science. Okay, a simple data. Okay, so here we have the answer is almost the same. It is doing good. Okay, it's doing good. You're very well today. You're happy today. Okay, so by this data, how are you going to do an analysis? Okay, that is what is basically in data sciences. Okay, can you anybody answer me what is about biological science? You can unmute and also answer. Or what do you study in biological science? Hello, can you hear me? You're there with me? You learn about human anatomy, biological science, especially we learn about plants and animals. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your response. What do you learn in physical science? Physical. Everybody should have done your schoolings. All right. All right. Yes. What have you learned in physical science? Anybody can you unmute and answer, or you can post your answers in the chat box also. Yes, no, no, yes. Hello. Let me get your answers from the chat box for this question. We are streaming it on live on YouTube. I'll share the link to the participants of Saveetha College at the end of this talk. All right. Yes, is about physics, science, it's about atoms and molecules. So it is, if you take biological science, it's the study of plants and animals, as well said by anatomy or physiology. Okay, it goes like that. When you take in physics and chemistry, we learn about atoms, molecules, the measurements, the chemicals, all right. So in data science, we are going to learn or do an analysis of what it is the study of data. Okay, it is the study of data. I just asked you all a very simple question. Okay, a very simple question. Well, how are you today? How are you today? So for that, we have got different answers. But in the data analysis, we need to understand what is this data all about. All right. So today, how Python is a language, that how we are going to use it in data science. As introduced, data science is the study of data, What it involves developing methods of recording, storing, and analyzing data to effectively extract useful information. See, for the question I asked, how are you today? Okay, I just asked you a question and you have given me so many responses. So I need to record all these data. Second step, I need to store these data and analyze it. Then there is a, can any one of you say what is a full form of NLP? Let me see on the chat box the full form of NLP. Viewers on YouTube, you can give your responses on the live chats. Natural language processing. A big round of applause to Shweta and Sasikala ma'am. Okay, Shweta ma'am and Sasikala ma'am. Okay, so NLP stands for natural language processing. So it's a natural, what do you speak? Okay, how are you doing today? It's on one language. So even for this, we need to analyze the data and we need to extract the useful information about the data. So, all right. So how many of you have bought any products in Amazon or on Flipkart? Have you bought it? If you bought, can you just share what item, the recent product that you bought in Amazon? Any one or two products that you bought on Amazon? Thank you, Meenakshi ma'am, for responding in the live chat. Books, very good. Ashurvad, very good. Fatima, very good. It's watches. Shanta Mary, bangles. See, before, okay, wireless headphones. Thank you all for a good response, a good active participation. A Christmas tree, amazing. Mobile, okay. So when you buy a product in Amazon, okay, what do you generally see before buying it? One of you can also unmute. If you want, you can keep your cameras on so that I can see.
We generally see the customer
Review and ratings, right? So reviews is just a sentence. Reviews is just a sentence. Okay, from the sentence we try to understand whether it is good or bad. Using data science, you can just feed in all the reviews and you can write your own algorithms and extract the information, and by the words that is given by the customers, you can rate it to be 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, or 1-star according to the words. Okay, if I say it is not good, if it is bad, it is the same. So you need to effectively extract information and correlate between the words. That could be done. So in data science, you can work with both structured data and also unstructured data. So what question I asked you when I started the session, how are you doing today? All right. So here in the session, it's totally an unstructured data, and data science is used for both structured data, semi-structured data, and also for unstructured data. So Python is one of the valuable. You can ask why Python. Is there anybody here on this platform using Python for any of your projects or any of your applications? You can give your responses. Let me see. YouTube viewers, you can give your responses and the live chats. Okay. Yes, Harshal, Rajesh, for what purpose have we used? Can you just write it in one word in the chat box? Whether if you used Python, if yes, you can say for what application or what domain you used. Or if you have not used with Python, you can just simply no, type no. It's simple when compared to other programs. Thank you, Shweta. Thank you, Shweta. Yes. Yes, you have used Chandra Maulidas. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know whether you are sir or a student. Thank you. Yes, you have used for data science a big round. No, Fatima, you have not used. Thank you for your response. Be quick, please. Yes, please. Others? So in this forum, we have the set of participants. I want everybody to respond in the chat box. Any of the questions, so nice. Some said yes, some said no. Okay, Python is a versatile language that we can use it for basically for data sciences, right? It has many inbuilt libraries. Yes, it is. We are going to see about some libraries today. Thank you, Swati, for giving the answer. It is used for web scraping. Yeah, you can extract a lot of data from the web, and you can, last US election, okay, people in US, they're trying to post all their views onto their networking sites, okay, onto the networking site and Twitter, and they have extracted the data from the Twitter, and They analyze the data, whether Hillary Clinton, not this election, the previous election, Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump, but that analysis said it will be Hillary Clinton, but it was Donald Trump who ruled America the last term. All right, so a lot of things that's used for web scraping and extract the data from the web. Python is one of the best choice for data science. In 2016, okay, it overtook R on Kaggle. You know, most of you use Kaggle. It's a premium platform for data science competitions. If you're students here and if you know about Python, I strongly recommend, because I was into engineering colleges for about a decade, for 10 years. I work in various institutions like Anna Anastasis and SPC. Okay, my last was Royal IEM College of Engineering and Technology. So when we do projects there with the students, we also recommend Python. So as students, there are a lot of data science competitions being organized in Kaggle. Just go into the website, just Google Kaggle, and you can work on all. Okay, in 2017, it overtook R on KD Nuggets, the annual poll of data science. Okay, data scientists. In 2018, 66% of data scientists reported they're using Python daily, and even I use Python daily for various applications. Like I said, in my company CIRF, we had a student who worked on reviews and she narrated the ratings. We work on image processing. We work on different. We work for both corporates, for students, for faculty training. Okay, and developing projects. Okay, and almost every day I use Python a lot. Okay, so data experts expect this trend to continue to be increasing in the Python ecosystem. And here, according to Indeed, you know about Indeed, the average salary would be this dollars. Okay, $1,27,918. That's the good news. Okay, but it is expecting to increase. So students, it is the need of the time to get. You can work data science in different applications, not only for engineering section. So you can use it for natural language processing. You can use it for new customer classification. You can use it for clustering. You can use it for regression. You can use it for image processing. As this event is organized by the statistical department, I'll show you something about how statistical analysis can be done. Okay, the experts at IBM predicted 28% increase in demand for data scientists by the year 2020. In which year are we living now? It's 2020. A few more days to go. We are going to leave 2020 and jump into 2021. All right. So there is a huge demand. Python is a general purpose language. Okay, the syntax is very clean. Some of you said it's very easy to code. Okay, it's very, very easy to code. Okay, it's fun to work. If you start working with Python, you will really understand how beautiful and how fun it is to work with Python, because in Python, as it is simple, it is clean coding. All right, it's a clean coding. Here we focus more on finding the solution to the problem, not more on syntax. Is anybody here who worked on C, C++, Java language? Yes, no, yes? Yeah. In C, C++, Java, if you leave one simple space or if you leave a semicolon, what will happen? You will get an error, but rather you should have found the logic to solve the problem. But because of a semicolon, because of a space, or because of some syntax or some error, you are not getting it, right? So that problem is completely erased. A syntax error. Thank you, Rajshekharan sir. It's completely erased in Python. It's very, very simple programming. Okay, it's very simple programming. So why do you? Oh, he is the person. You know about this person? His name is Gideon Van Rossum. Okay, Gideon Van Rossum, he was the one who first created Python language in late 1980s. If you're students, you should have not been born that time. Okay, and then he was working in an Amoeba distributed operating system at that time. A language will support only one operating system. Okay, he used an interpreted language. If you take C, C++, and Java, there we need to compile the program and then we need to interpret it. Here, you need not compile, its direct interpretation. So how many letters are there between A to Z? Let's get this answer from every participant today. How many letters? A, B, C, D, A to Z. Oh my God, nobody is responding. 26. I think the most active person today is Shilpat. Thank you, Prem Prakash sir. Thank you, Rajshekhar. It's 26. When did we learn this? We learned in our LKG, but still any child will say, right? It is 26. So he named this language to be as ABC, which is very, very simple language, but everybody can understand, everybody can start working it. When he started developing this language, he thought, I have developed this language and this language should ever increase every day, okay, ever increase every day. So he made it to be extensible, okay, he made this language to be extensible. So this was started. Can any one of you say why is this language named as Python? You can unmute and say. Live YouTube live viewers can, yeah, you can share it in live chat. No, you don't know why the name Python has come. Okay, when he developed this, okay, he had the habit of reading books or watching uh, TV pictures or serials according to his interest. Okay, there was a some of you have some interest in reading criminal stories. Some of you will love to read books that is related to romance. Some you will have some godly kind of books to read. Some of you will like comics. All right, so each of us, you have got different flavors. Is there any good book readers here in the session? If so, what kind of book do you read? There are many people, but most of you are not answering. Yes, please. What flavor is your book? Yes, fictions. Yes, I prefer thrillers book. Thank you. Shweta and Ashwita are the most active persons. Fatima, there are many people here. You're not responding. Kindly respond, please. All right. So this person, Gideon Van Rosen, he had the habit of reading, or his interest is on comics. Okay, his interest is on comics. So he was seeing, there was a comedy series in late 1970s. Okay, it was called as Monty Python Flying Circus. It's called Monty Python Flying Circus. Yes, Monty Python, maybe it's a copy paste. It's called Monty Python Flying Circus. Okay, so here he enjoyed, he laughed, he had a good mood when he was seeing this comedy series. Okay, that is what he named as Python, but it is never after a dangerous snake. Okay, see here, if you use Intel, like the chips, the processor, it uses Python. How many of you are into Instagram? How many of you are into Insta? Yes, no? Respond, please, quick. Yes, 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 everybody, me too. I'm also into Insta. Yes. If you try Doreen Robin, you get my ID, right? And Instagram. Okay. Yeah, some of you are not following. Okay, some of you are, and I know everybody, students will be into uh, Instagram. Okay, so Instagram is completely developed using Python programming. Okay, and video games, do you play different video games? Then you can do it using Python. It's a versatile language. There is no syntax over it. You can analyze lots of data. You can build websites. In my company now, a course is going on websites using Django. Anybody have used Django? Yes, no? At least you put Y or N. Quick, I want everybody to answer, please. We have got 40 to 50 participants, but the response is very less, only 5. No, no, no. Just one letter N or Y. At least for this question, let me get from new participants. A lot of participants. Yes, no, no, yes. Okay. Yes, thank you, Rajshekhar sir. You have used Python. I don't know whether a sir or a student. Okay, yes, nice to hear. So here, the using Django, Instagram is developed. If you use Mozilla Firefox, it's developed using Django. Pinterest, okay, and also for maintaining servers. It has a wide range of applications when you take Python. For Django, I said, and Bottle for web development, Orange for data mining. Okay, SciPy, it's called scientific Python. NumPy, it's called numerical Python, and also you can use for desktop user graphics. Anybody plays any game in your mobile, and whether you know it is developed using Python? If not, if you know that you have used only game, you can spell the yes, no, yes, please. Yes, what is the game that you play, Ashir? Can you spell? Can you tell the name of the game that you play and whether you're sure whether it has been done by Python? No, okay. You can also try it out. Okay, you can also try it out. So, real-time application, Google uses lots of applications. Google that uses is using Python. If there is time, I'll show you about Google Analytics, the Dropbox. Okay, Dropbox. Some of you will be using Instagram, Mozilla, Cure, or Raspberry Pi. Anybody has heard about Raspberry Pi or working on Raspberry Pi? Yes, no. Just type one letter that is enough for me, Y or N. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you, Rajshekaran sir. You are a sir or a student, Rajshekaran sir, or you are a sir or a student, I don't know. Yes, you used Raspberry Pi. What is Raspberry Pi? One of you can unmute and say, what is Raspberry Pi? Sir, thank you, sir, thank you. So brilliant, so happy to have you here. Yes. Used for IoT, yeah, Internet of Things. Even when you're coding with Raspberry Pi, you can code with Python. Okay, you can code with Python. So now today's session for data science, we are going to see about what are the Python libraries for data scientists. Okay, and then how are you going to select, filter data, manipulate, sort, group, and rearrange, because we need to analyze how can you do the plots and little about statistics. And also, have you worked on machine learning, deep learning? Anybody has worked on machine learning, deep learning technology? Yes, no, no, yes. No. So for machine learning algorithm, one example I can show you, and for in deep learning also. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for your responses. Okay, so today's session we are going to see, as well said, Mr. Somebody's mic on iPhone 6s. Your mic is on mute. Sorry, it's on unmute. You have any doubts? Do you want to share anything? Yeah, thank you. Its mic is on mute. Able to understand whatever I spoke till now about the introduction about Python? Any doubts till now? Yes, no, no, yes. No. So you're able to understand? No, ma'am. Thank you, Ashirwat. So most of you said no. Okay, thank you, Kaushik. So this is about the introduction about Python. We will jump into the data science libraries. Okay, so the basic libraries that we are going to see is called as NumPy, where you'll be working with the numerical Python, and SkyPy is for scientific Python, Pandas for data visualization and for analysis. Okay, basically Pandas is used for analysis and visualizing. SkyKit, it's a package. Okay, SkyKit is a package where we have got a lot of algorithms for classification, for clustering. If you want to do analysis of disease, whether the disease is present in this patient or not, or at what level is the disease, then you have to go for the classification. Okay, then clustering. In clustering, say for example, a lot of customers go to a shop, but some shops, which shops you frequently go into, the people in the shop will just welcome you. Yes, come in, ma'am, you want to see, because they know your flavor, what kind of dresses you buy. And then you can also do the customer segmentation, the clustering. So these are the most frequently viewed customer who come. For that, you can go for clustering. All right, for regression, continuous variable, stock value, something like that, you can go for it. A lot of packages are there in Skykit. Visualization, we use Matplotlib, Seaborn, Bokeh. I'll show you some more things. Okay, and I said it. Python is extensible, right? Python is extensible and every day. Okay, and every day it is. You can also go on PYPI. Okay, if you have a mobile, this is called Python package index. When you develop your own work, also you can upload into this. So here every day, lot of practice. That is what in the starting slide I said. Python is extensible. Python is extensible. If you see on browsing, all right, browser project, if you want to develop a framework, okay, using the Django and this version, okay, and if I'm going to use 1.1, all right, then all right, so here, and this is the framework I want to work on. I can select in the Django, it's 1.1, and I can also make a topic if I'm going to develop this website, and for this my version is 1.11, and if I want to have a chat box to my website, you need not develop any chat box. Okay, so here you have got like a messenger platform. Make your Facebook with Django, or logger, handler, Telegram bots. Okay, a lightweight Django frame bot. Okay, and you can see every when and all it has been released. Okay, 2018, 2017, 2020. So it is, if you want to develop a website using Django, you go into this Python pipeline, select what version and select what application, then you can just install it and you can start working. You need not even code for the chat. You can just use the libraries and then work on with that. Now, and for Python, basically I use this Anaconda. Okay, Anaconda is a product where you can also Google it. It's not a snake. Don't think it's a snake. You just Google it. It's Anaconda Python. All right, Anaconda Python. Then you get an individual version. It's a free open source for Python, and it's also used for R programming. Lot of companies like Intel, the top peering companies, okay, and they use this. Okay, they use this. So here, these are the machine learning models that I told you about. Scikit-learn, the NumPy, Spider. You can start your basic programming using Spider, the TensorFlow, the PyTorch, the Matplotlib, the panels, Numba, Bokeh, SkyPy, everything you can start working with that. Okay, so this I generally recommend. Otherwise, I use also collabs. I think you have a competition. You have a competition at the end of this workshop, right? At the end of this workshop, I use collabs. I don't know. Today you'll be having your hands-on session today. So that time you will be doing it, because I've done some of my work, some of the works that we do. It will be into my collabs. Okay, these are the two platforms I use basically. You can also make a note of it. Thank you, Prem. Nice to hear from you. You use Collab. Okay, today's session, I can show you both Collab and using the Jupyter Notebook. Okay, we're going to start with NumPy, which is for numerical Python. Okay, NUMPY, if you search, because every version, and this is the only official language website, python.org. Okay, the latest release, everything comes into this. When you install using Anaconda, you get the entire libraries that you want to work on with. So when you take NumPy, first we'll start with NumPy. It's a library, and the max you should have learned about Laplace series, Laplace transform, is Fourier series, Fourier transform. All these applications can, all this mathematical computations can be done using NumPy and SciPy. Okay, this is the fundamental packages for scientific computing. So a lot of numerical computations that I told you, right? Whenever you want to work with random number generator, linear algebra, Fourier transform, Fourier series, okay, all these you need not code anything. You can just use this, but you should know how to use it. You should know how to use it for a lot of scientific application. Can you see using NumPy? You can go for quantum statistical computations. If I little zoom it, I don't know whether this and what are the packages, pandas, stats, model, seaborn. I'll show you something about statistic. If you're going to work with signal processing, if you're going to image, I have in my channel, you go to YouTube and you type Doreen Robin, you get my channel. I have a lot of couple of videos using image processing, using OpenCV and other 5 packages for 3D visualization, for symbolic, SymPy. Okay, astronomy. If you are interested in astronomy, the geographical position, geopandas, for chemistry, for modeling, for analysis, SciPy, okay, and for Bayesian inference, bioinformatics, all these things, it comes under, everything is mostly it is coming under the power of NumPy, okay. So using NumPy, you can use in TensorFlow, UI, TensorLead, okay, X-array, okay. Now comes data science. This is what I want you to focus on, okay. This is what, so Python for data science, Python libraries, you need to extract, transform and load. You use pandas beautiful soup intake. If you want to explore the data, this is just to extract the data and transform it and load it. We use pandas. I'll show you about pandas now. If you want to explore, if you want to visualize it, okay, you go for Seaborn, Matplotlib, okay. If you want to evaluate your data, if you want to evaluate data, then we go for NumPy, TensorFlow, all right. And then if you want to model something, if you want to develop a machine learning model or a deep learning model, then you go for scikit-learn, SciPy, statistical modeling. If you want to again present, visualize the data. Visualization is more important, okay. And there we use Matplotlib and BizPy, okay. So this is what is in nutshell the data sciences. So you need to extract, transform and load data using pandas. I'll show you about pandas. You need to explore the data, for which I'll show you about how to use with Seaborn and Matplotlib. Even I can show you some of the analysis that we have done using COVID-19 data sets, okay. And you need to develop a model. I'll show you developing a simple model using machine learning and deep learning, and that uses scikit-learn, SciPy, and again the result should be presented. We go into Matplotlib, or there are different types of rules, okay. So here is this is what is data science, okay. So these packages are most predominantly used. At least in one level we should know how to use one package, okay. One package at least, okay. Okay, able to understand till now? Yes, no, no, yes. Yes, please. With me? Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for your good responses. Thank you for your wonderful and splendid responses. Thank you all. Now, give me a second. Okay, now this. Okay, so we'll see about these packages. We have got next till it is 11:45, 1 hour to go. Okay, as I told you, you all make a note of this website called numpy.org. Okay, multidimensional arrays and matrices. Okay, all kinds of applications you can do. And SciPy, I said, right, the differential equation, the integration. How many of you remember learning in differentiation, integration, the statistics, the different bell-shaped curves and other things? Yes, no? Can one of you present? Yeah, can you just say 1 or 2 words of mathematics, what we have learned? Or if you belong to this department of statistics, you should definitely know it. Just to create a trigger among people. Let me see. You can unmute your mic and also say. You should have learned a lot of things in Python, right? Sorry, in Max, right from your schoolings to college. Waiting for your responses, please. Hello? Nobody wants to answer? Linear programming, Fourier transformation, thank you. You can also unmute and speak, no problem. Waiting for your answers. There are some people in this session. You ask any question, you cannot get answer from me. Finding derivation of functions. Thank you. Simulation. At least before the end of the session, whosoever is participating here, at least like one response on the chat, or you can unmute and speak. Okay, so so then we move on to pandas. Okay, in pandas, I told where is pandas used. Just now I told. Let me see who's the first person who's going to give the response in the chat. What functionality pandas does? I told you. I showed you. Yeah. Okay. No, I told you an exact word. For what purpose is this package used? Data extraction. Thank you, sir. Rajshekhar, sir. You're most near. Do you remember the word called ETL? What is ETL? Data visualization. It's not pandas. It's basically matplotlib and cmod. For pandas, what did I say? It is for ETL. Do you remember what is ETL? Thank you, Prem Prakash. A big round of applause. So the winner for this question is Prem Prakash. It is used for extract, transform, and load. I showed you, right? When it comes to data science, do you remember? For extract, transform, and load is pandas used. My screen is seen. And if you're going for web scraping, or if you want to scrap, you can use Beautiful Soup intake. All right. So thank you for your good responses. Okay. ETL, don't forget. So now let me start with pandas. Okay. So I have, I'm using Jupyter. I have this CSV. What does CSV stands for? It stands for comma separated values. Okay, it stands for comma separated values. I'll show you what this. Yeah, let me open that. So this is the data set I want to analyze, which is called pandas tutorial.read. It has the date. The data set has a date, which has a time, the read, the write, what are the computation is done, which country, location. This is some number, and if you could see, and it's from SEO. What is SEO? Can any one of you say what is SEO? Search engine optimization. Yeah, search engine optimization. Okay, SEO, or this data has been extracted using Google AdWords. I don't know, some of you would have used Google AdWords, the Reddit. Okay, and from which zone? South America, North America. This is my data set. Okay, so I have a data set that is in the format of CSV, but here you can see, but we have special character here, semicolon is separated. Generally, if it is CSV, it will be comma separated, but here it is CSV separated. So I am loading the data. So I am importing two packages. Import numpy as np, okay, pandas as pd. This is a user defined variable. Whatever you want, you can use it, but I am using np and pd, and using this pandas. I told pandas is used for extract, transform, and load. Okay, I'm using pd.read csv, and I'm loading the CSV file. Generally, we don't give a delimiter if my data set is having a comma, but specifically I've taken this data set which has a semicolon, wherein we should explicitly specify it as a semicolon. All right, and then the shape of this file. So file.shape, what it does, it tells me how many rows and columns are there. How many rows are there? 1794 rows and 6 columns. Okay, and 6 columns. Thank you, Chandramoli sir. Thank you, Menaka ma'am. okay, for a good response. So I've extracted my CSV file into this variable called file. You can have file or you can have any other variable, okay. And now, I'm seeing how many rows and columns. When you want to find the data type of a variable, you used to give type of the variable. Here I am extracting using pandas.read.csv. I'm converting, listen carefully, I'm converting the CSV file and I'm loading into the variable called as file, to this variable called as file, which is user defined. You can have it file or whatever it is. Give it as file.shape. All right, if I give file.shape, it gives me how many rows and how many columns you have. Okay, how many rows and how many columns. When I give the type, it defines me what is the data type. The data type of pandas is called as data frame. Understand? The data type, I repeat it, listen carefully. The data type of any variable that I extract and load onto my pandas, it carries the data type as a data frame. Okay, so when I type of file, you get the type. And when I give file.headup, so everything that is inside my file, it is under pandas and the data type is data frame. Okay, that's what. So it adds data structures. What is the data structures it uses? Data frame. Okay, and tools to work with, like it would be like a table kind of data. A normal CSV where you can open using Notepad or WordPad or anything like that, or even using Excel, you can open, but I'm opening it into pandas, which will be converted into a data frame data type. And here you can do your reshaping. If you have two data frames, if you have got two CSV files, you can merge both. Okay, it's used for reshaping, it's for merging, you can sort it, you can slice it, you can aggregate it. All kinds of data manipulations can be done. It's used for extract, transform and load. Okay, and also in pandas you can work with missing values. What is the importance of missing values? If you're going to develop a model using a machine learning algorithm or deep learning algorithm, if your file, say for example, I worked with like even 20 lakhs of data. Okay, so when there is one missing value in one row and column, your machine learning model will not work. All right, so before we develop a model, first thing you need to ensure whether your data set does not have missing values. Understand? Your data set should not. There are various methods to either you can remove the missing values, or you can do an imputation methodology, or you can take an average of it in comparison. There's a plentiful method to handle missing data in Python. For that, here pandas is used. Okay, for that pandas is used. Okay, so we will move into it. Okay, type and file.head off. Okay, say for example, if I'm going to give file.head off, I'll get only 5. That's the default. Okay, that's the default. That's the default. But if I want total, how many rows are there? 1794 rows are there. If I want to get the top 50, I can give 50. If I don't give any values, default, it will give file.header, because my entire CSV I'm loading into this variable called file. All right. If I give file.head off, it will take normally the 5 files. If I give file, now if I give 50, so can you see? I can get the first 50 records. I can get the first. Oh, thank you, Chandra Molly. You are a student. Thank you. Thank you, Chandra. Okay. And yeah, this is about the first 50. If I give just tail, okay, if I give just tail, what it will happen? It will take, I told it has got 1794 rows. The starting is with a 0. The starting is with 0. So my end will be 1793. Here also again, if I give like 25, it will take the last 25 rows. Okay, to take the last 25 rows. So able to understand? So head and the tail. All these are we are using under the Python library called as pandas. It's under the Python library called as pandas, right? Files.column of here, if you see, it does not have a column name. I will tell you how to. Sometimes if you take a data set that doesn't have a column name, default it takes the first row as a column, but here you don't have a column name. I will tell how to add a column name into it. Okay, how to add a column name into it. So, but some data sets you will already have headers. If you have a header, it will show like this. See, we are creating this. Somebody's mic is on. See, I'm using Titanic data sets. Okay, data science solution. What is about Titanic? Anybody can unmute and say, or you can post it in the chat. Hello. What is Titanic? Anybody remembers what that flashes your mind when you hear the word Titanic? Name of a ship. Thank you. What happened to that ship? A movie. Yes. Yes, Shamina. Yes, others. There are many people here, but nobody is responding. A set of people. Shantamiri ship.
Titanic data set have the details of the passengers, which are in first class, second class, and who survived and who don't. This kind of
Yeah, who survived, who died. Thank you, Chandramoli. Thank you. So it is a benchmark data set. Okay, you know about the movie. Okay, we know about what is Titanic, everything. Okay, so I have this data set as training set and testing set. Here, can you see combine? Can you see this word combine? I told no, using data frames, you can merge two data sets. Here I'm merging the two data sets. Okay. Can you see here train.df.columns.values? So it will tell me what are my column names. For this data set, the passenger ID, whether they survived or they passed away, what class, what is the name of the passenger, what gender they belong to, what is the age, and all these things. Can you see the header here? So when you give df train.df.columns.values, it will show me the column names. But here, where is it? I was working in this. Yeah, df.columns. It shows me because I don't have a header. Okay, I'll show you how to include it. And then whenever my data set has got a numerical values, and this is also more important when you come into modeling, I will say I don't know how long. Okay, till the time I'll be able to share the most things with you. When you're developing a machine learning model or a data deep learning model, if you want to develop a model, your data sets, the first thing I told you, do you remember? You should not have missing values. The next most important thing, you need to convert the categorical values. See here, these are numerical values, these are all categorical values. We need to convert the categorical values into numerical values. Lot of pre-processing headers are there. Okay, for pre-processing itself, lot of Python headers there. You just use it. Say for example, your data set has got rainbow colors. That's a category. What are the colors of the rainbow? Hello. What are the colors of the rainbow? Even for this question, nobody is answering. Let me hear, please. What are the colors?
Violet, indigo, brown, green, yellow, orange, and red.
Violet, indigo. Okay. Blue, okay, green, orange, and red. So, Vibgyor is the color. So, many of you know the answer. But something restricts you to post your answer in the chat, and something it restricts to unmute your mic and speak. Okay, come out from the shell. You can give a correct answer, you can give a wrong answer. No. So if my data set, say for example, if I'm going to have a 5,000 data, okay, of about rainbows. So one column is the color of a rainbow. So it will have violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. All right, so the continuous colors will be there. If I'm going to develop a model for a data set that has a rainbow, my data set cannot understand, cannot understand what is violet, indigo, blue. I need to convert these into categorical values. We have got different headers, or you can use a define and change it. Okay, but I can make violet to be of the number 0, indigo 1, blue as 2, green as 3, yellow as 4, orange as 5, and red as 6. So I can map wherever it is violet, it will be changed into 0. I can do different kinds of manipulation. So once it is done, but after my end results, again I can convert my numerical values to categorical values to get the correct answers. If, say for example, if you're going to do for disease detection, okay, or the same Titanic data set, whether the patient survived, the passenger, they survived or they died. So if we give the same values as survived and died, it will be difficult for it to develop a model. I can make survived as 1, dead as 0. So after my computation, wherever it is 0, it is specifying the patient, the passenger is dead. If it is 1, the passenger survived. Same thing for disease also. If it is a diabetics, if the patient has diabetics, yes or no, it will be the yes or no also it cannot understand. Yes, I can map it to 1. If the patient does not have a diabetics, if it is no, I can map it to 0. Able to understand? So if my data sets are having the numerical values, then I can give file dot describe of. Okay, it will do the counts, the mean, the standard deviation, the minimum value, the top 25, top 50%, the top 75, and the maximum value. Okay, so this describe of functions can be used for columns that has mathematical values. So another function, you can make a note of this function. I told about head, I told about tail, the type. Okay, pd.read underscore csv of describe file dot items. It will show me it is a data frame and what are the items inside that. Okay, here what I'm going to do, I'm going to use, I can use the same function as file, but here I've renamed as article read, which is equal to pd.read. You remember pd.read underscore csv of delimiter, comma, the values that are in black are user defined, predefined delimiter pd.read underscore csv of, okay, I can give this variable called names, which is predefined, which will enable me to create the column headers as my date time. So the first column I'm making as my date time. All right. The next is event, whether it is a reading event or a writing event, which country zone, the user ID, from which source have I extracted this data, and what topic, okay, whether it's South America or it's about North America. Can you understand now? A data set which does not have an header, using this, you can create an header to it. Now the article read, I can also use this function called sample of. Okay, sample of will take sampling of 50 data random and it will give me. All right. Any doubts till now? Able to understand? I don't know whether I'm fast. I know you have a hands-on session. So article read dot columns of will give me what are my columns. And also I told, right, you can group, you can sort, you can merge. If I want to take only from this column, if I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 columns, but I want only 2 columns, the user ID and the country, then I can use this function to extract only those values. Okay, user ID and country, or event and user ID, or if I want to extract only the read sources, okay, the read sources, which is this is my article read, is my pandas type data frame. Dot source, listen carefully, dot source is a column name, which is equal to SEO, because one of my values is SEO. So can you see here, only the SEOs will be extracted, which is 346 rows out of the 1796 rows, okay, and 6 columns. And the next I have extracted the source to be Reddit alone. Okay, the source to be Reddit, and only that has been extracted. I'm just setting this up to get my maximum rows and columns. Now, able to understand till now? How are we extracting it? Okay, how are we extracting it? Only or group, not, it's not grouping. How am I extracting? Only if it satisfies this particular value onto the column. Yes, able to understand till now? Hello, you're all there, you're able to hear me? Yes, thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay, so the next, this is how you can take only some variables. Here I've just given like xx and dd. Okay, xx and dd. So if I want to use some data analysis only inside SEO, further I can use this data frame which has a variable dd and xx. Okay, here I'm going to use article read of. I'm going to take the country, only the country should be true. Only for those countries that is true, I'm going to take user ID, topic and country. So I'm just sorting it. I'm extracting only the variable that is having country 2, and for that country 2, can you see here how many rows I've got it? At the end it will show only for country 2 I've taken. It's more. Okay. Or if I change here to of country 7, take only of country 7. For that, what are the user IDs of that particular rows and what is the topic and the country name. Understand? So this is how you will be able to extract, transform, load into different values into the data frame. And concat is also a function to concatenate two data frames. Okay, I am just creating a data frame and I can also use concat. So concat will make two data frames to be merged. And now moving into able to understand about pandas. We'll go into visualization. Basically, these 5 data sets, their libraries would be used in data science: NumPy, SciPy, Pandas, Matplotlib. Since I've used a CSV file, if I'm going to use an Excel file, then instead of read underscore CS will be Excel. If you're going to use a statistical data, it will be Stata. If you're going to use an SAS, then it will be read underscore SAS. If you're using a big data analytics using Hadoop, if you're going to take a data from Hadoop, then you use HDF. Okay, is it clear? So I'm having a data frame here in the variable df, the name, age, gender. I just created using dictionaries. Okay, dictionary is a type which has a key and value, the name, age, gender, state, number of children and pets. Here, can you see I'm using Matplotlib. That package is used for what? For what functionality Matplotlib and Seaborn is used for? Let's see who's giving the first answer. I asked you a question, waiting for an answer. For what Matplotlib and Seaborn is used? For what functionality we use Matplotlib and Seaborn? Nobody is answering. You're there with me or not? Hello. Because no, this is, I think it's more than 50 webinars during this pandemic time I've given. Live, I can see people live when we come to a place, but virtually we need to keep intact. Hello, you're able to hear me? Hello, am I audible? Yes, but you are only not answering. Okay, Matplotlib and Bouquet and Seedborn, it is used for data visualization. It's used for data visualization. We have got next half an hour to go. Thank you. Okay, so we are using matplotlib.pyplot as pypy. Okay, I have my data pandas df variable. Okay, this variable. So I'm going to use a plot called the scatter plot. Okay, how many number of children? X axis I'm going to take number of children. This is one of the variable here, and on the y number of pets. So John, number of children and number of pets. So it is making a scatter plot. So I'm using df.plot. Okay, scatter plot, x axis and y axis, the color is red. Okay, and since here can you see matplotlib.pyplot as plt, and plt.show will show me my graph. You can use this graph for 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 50 lakhs, whatever is your lakhs of data. You're not able to see here. I have to give here matplotlib. Sorry. In line. Then only you'll be able to see your scatter. If I'm going to change this color to be blue, then instead of that red, you will get a blue color. Can you see the difference here? Okay. Only once you can load it, the next time you can just do it. So now I'm going to use a bar graph. X-axis is name and y-axis is their age. First, what I show is a scatter plot. A lot of plots are there in Matplotlib. This is scatter plot. Sorry, it's a bar plot. It's GCA. X is name and Y is age. And here I said, right, using data frames, you can use group. I'm going to group by state and their name. So group by, I'm going to group by their state. So what are the different types of names of states? California, DC and Texas. Okay, but I'm not going to give because sometimes you'll have 1500. I'm going to group by the state and the names. Okay, the names of the state. How many unique counts are there? Okay, how many unique California? By seeing this graph, I can say the more number of people are from California, and I'm going for a bar graph. Okay, and also I can group by state and the different gender. Here we have not just one number of queues. Here I'm going to unstack it. So you can see here only male in California. Here you've got male and female. This kind of a bar chart where you can use using pandas. We are grouping it and visualizing using Matplotlib. Okay, and we are visualizing using Matplotlib. Here I'm using matplotlib.tick or mtick. Okay, so here I'm going to group by the gender and the state. Okay, so these are the different 3 states. Okay, California, DC and Texas. How many male and how many females? So in male, these are the different states. Can you understand about the matplotlib and applications using pandas? Yes, no, no, yes. Hello. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So here we have like age, a data frame. So we are planning to get a bar graph, age, sales and income. So what is the age? What is the sales? You just created here. Okay. So the box plot. We have seen about bar graph, scatter plot and the different things. You can also have a bar plot and also you can have pie plot. Can you pie chart? Okay, pie chart, and we have seen about the scatter plot already. So these are the different kinds of visualization that you can work using Matplotlib. We're able to understand. We have seen about Matplotlib and pandas. Yes, thank you. Now we will go into, you remember 5 things: NumPy, SkyPy, Matplotlib, Seaborn, and okay. So here I'm using this. If I want to import this package, import cborn as SNS. Import cborn as SNS. Instead of this SNS, you can give whatever you want, wish to give. Okay. And matplotlib.pyplot as PLT and matplotlib9. And inside cborn itself, there are a lot of data sets. Sometimes it's called a benchmark data set. It is called as a benchmarked data set. So benchmark data sets basically for any data scientist when they start working, initially they start working with the iris data set. It's about a flower of three species. Okay, it's a flower of about three species. Okay. So I'm going to load the data set. I'm going to see the header. When you take a flower, it has got the sepal, the petal, the length, and the width. Okay. So this IRIS is a benchmark data set. Supposingly, if you're very new to data science, okay, want to start working with this data set, which is called as IRIS, IRIS. Okay, IRIS. All right. Thank you. So I'm going to load the data set. Okay, import cborn as SNS at plotlib. I'm loading, which is inbuilt, so I do not need to have the data set and my local system. And I'm going to see how many headers, what is the swarm plot. We saw about bar, the scatter plot and different plots. Can you see it has extracted the data set? This is swarm plot. There are three species. This is the data set. Okay, I just given head of, so it will give only 5. So totally it has got 150 rows and 5 columns. Can you see here I've given iris.shape and what is the type? It's a data frame. Sepal length, sepal width, petal length and petal width. What species it belongs to? So it belongs to Setosa or versicolor species or Virginia. Okay. And this is swarm plot. First one is the swarm plot of species and petal length. The second is also swarm plot, species and sepal length. And the third is a strip plot. This is a strip plot. Okay. So lots and lots of plots are there. If you go to the website of Matplotlib and Seaborn, you will get. But Seaborn visualization is a more better than Matplotlib. So again, say I told right, Titanic is also benchmark data set. I mean, it's all inside the Seaborn. Okay, it's all inside the Seaborn. I'm loading the data sets. Now I'm going to use another plot called as factor plot. It's in Seaborn. Okay, the factor plot. What class people traveled, how many people? So first class, second class, and third class, and how many survived? Okay, the y-axis, and what gender they belong to. It's male or female. Okay, male is blue and female is in orange. And see, instead of loading the entire data set and viewing it, and here let me print Titanic dot shape. You will know how many rows and columns are there. Okay, already it is there. Can you see here 891 rows and 15 columns? Okay, and when I take those columns, if I going to go one by one out of all these 891 rows, it will be, I cannot come into a conclusion. But visualization, see, in fraction of second, you're able to see how it is being done. Okay, in a fraction of second you're getting a visualization, so you can see what is that you understand from this graph. See, in my x-axis I've given what are the classes: first class, second class, third class passengers. Y-axis, how many survived or how many dead. So this survived. Okay, these people have survived. Okay, can you say what do you understand from this graph? What do you understand from this graph? Can anyone of you answer? Anybody? What does it say? Got one response. Survival status of passenger. Correct. The survival status of passengers. So how brilliant it is, right? How many classes? How many survived? How many dead? Okay. So in first class, lot of women, they survived in each class. See, in one fraction of second, you can come into different conclusion. That is the importance of data science. Now, you have got in SNS, in CBON, you've got another plot called as count plot. Okay, x-axis, the classes, y-axis. So from this, we see, okay, from this we see just a count plot. Okay, I'm just counting the number of passengers. Okay, what do you understand from this graph? What do you understand from this graph? It's not only data science, visualization is more important. More than visualization, what do you infer from it is more important. The number of passengers who traveled in the third class is more in comparison with other classes. And when you see second class passengers are the least. Able to understand? Hello? Yes. So when you write your data science, when you make a visualization, see these things we are going to do before we start working, developing a model. Okay, visualization, and then we go for pre-processing of data, then we develop your models. Okay, thank you. So when you see this count plots, what do you infer from this? At least let me get a response from this. I'm using my count plot for the Titanic data set. X-axis is male or female and y-axis count plot. So it counts just the number of male, number of female. What do you understand from this graph? Hello. You are active in the starting, but now feeling sleepy or feeling hungry or feeling angry. Hello. What do you understand from this graph? It's very easy. The number of passengers who traveled, who's more? Male is more in comparison with female. Male is more in comparison with female. So, like this inference, you need to do. Male passengers are more. Thank you, Ashir. And now, how many survived? Can you see here? 1 is survived, 0 died. So these many people died. The number of people who died is more than the people who survived. Able to understand? And also you can use color palettes in Seaborn. Okay, lot of visualization tools are more, and visualization is more important. Okay, visualization is more important. Visualization is more important, and also you can also from this age, from the data set, you can also do an histogram. You remember how to do an histogram? So only the age, I'm plotting it, the kind of histogram, the bins and the column. So you can also have histograms. So these are the different visualization we have seen till now. Okay, thank you. Okay, and now we have seen about data, how to take a data, how to load it in pandas, and then we have seen how to do visualization. Okay, how to do visualization. All right, as you belong to statistics department, I'll just run through what you all can do in statistics. Okay, see here, I'm going to take NumPy, import NumPy as NP. Okay, I'm using my NumPy. Using my NumPy tool, it's a multidimensional array. Do you remember it's a multidimensional array? All right, and NumPy as NP. Okay, pandas as PD, matplotlib. Getting the maximum visualization. I'm creating an array and I'm plotting the histograms with 8 pins. And these are some values I've taken. Okay. And fitting the data to probability distributions, the method of performance, the maximum likelihood, the discrete random variables, okay, the continuous random variables. Here I'm using a data set which is called NOA precipitation data. Okay, so this is a text file. Okay, this is a text file I'm taking from 1981 to 2011. Okay, then I'm going to planning this. It is called actual precipitation value. The index, the delimiters or white spaces, true. Okay, I'm putting into precipitation. So what would be the data type of this variable? Can you answer? PD dot read table. I'm reading a table which is of type text, but because it is given delimited as a white space. What is the data type for the variable present? Sometimes I wonder whether the participants are there or not. Hello. What is the data type of this? It is. What is the data type of this variable? Hello. Can you hear me? Yes, no, no, yes. The data type of precip is correct. Exactly, Rajshekharan sir, you are correct. It is data frame. It is data frame. It is data frame. Thank you, Shruti. Okay, so it's data frame. I'm just doing the header of it, and also I can make an histogram of a tight layout. I'm planning for a gamma distribution of this, taking the mean values, and fill dot na. If there is no variable, I to write missing values is more important, taking mean of it and replacing it. Okay, here the alpha mom and the beta mom I've taken, and here I'm doing a gamma distribution for January. Okay, which is given for every month. Lint space is a space we give in NumPy as equal spaces between one variable to the other. So for January, I'm getting a gamma distribution. I just took this example to show you because this event is organized by the statistics department, right? So a lot of things you can do this entire for every month, April, August, December with alpha, and the maximum likelihood. Then we can go in for the Poisson distribution of the same data set, the likelihood values of it, and then it's the Poisson distribution and the Newton-Raphson's converges on a solution, right? That example also you can do it. See how powerful is data science. How powerful is data science. Okay, and DC and truncated distribution, and when you a lot of your faculties will know more about it. Okay, bimodal distribution, KDE dot Gaussian, that can be done. Okay, the regression models, the continuous, I'm taking two variables and just plotting it. Red O is red rounded. All right. So statistical models. So this is for statistics. Import stats model dot API dot SM, the straight line, add content, OLS regression, what is the results? Okay, I'm taking the data sets. Okay. So again, I'm taking here the Titanic data set. What is the fair? You know the fair, right? Titanic data set. The fair, how many survived, how many died. This is died, survived. So from the same data and Titanic data set, what are the different analysis? The structure, the model. See how powerful, because you need to learn more about it to work on with that. Okay, but just I'm showing to you in just as like a glance to understand how powerful is Python, or even for, what do I say? This is one of our research project done by one student. Okay, he took the data sets in the form of JSON, okay, JSON format, and we loaded it into the Fullium package we used for maps. All right, so the rainfall. So when I click here, for from 2004 to 2010, what is the highest centimeters rainfall? I can see in 2005, this month, in the month of October, we have the heavy rainfall. Can you see? From 2004 to 10, okay, these 7 years, the entire data sets is in JSON, but by loading this with one fraction of a second, I can find it out which month had the highest rainfall. If I click this on the North India, so just I'm showing you how powerful is this, okay. So each state, okay, it's like Srinagar, Jammu Kashmir, okay, Sikkim, Mumbai, okay, Delhi, Cochin, Bangalore, Kolkata, Chennai. So every data set is there, and using this the powerfulness is data visualization is more needed for a data scientist. Any doubts till now? Whether you're able to understand, become this about NumPy, the different statistics model. Statistics I just glanced once to just show you, and then we will be going into the models. Any doubts till now? Able to understand? Hello, faculties and students. Yes. Thank you, Shamina. Thank you, Rajshekhar sir. There are many people, I don't know whether they are into this meeting and have their mics on mute and doing other works. I'm not getting response from many people. We would be happy, even the organizers would be happy if everybody you could give us some response. Okay. Thank you, Ashir. Now, lot of visual, this is joint plot, count plot, violin plot. I'm not going more into visualization now because visualization it's a pair plot. Lots and lots of things are there to show. And also this one I'll just show to you. It's called bokeh. It's also used for data visualization. Okay, for a data scientist, data analysis and data visualization is more important. Then we move into developing our models. Then with the results we'll analyze, we can predict. Okay, so this is about, like, I'm taking an output like has an HTML test.html. Thank you, Neelu ma'am. Neelu ma'am or student, I don't know. Okay, this is also for output to be taken. Now we'll move into the machine learning models. So even from a direct website of CSV, you'll be able to take data. So you can be able to take your data. Okay, I'm taking a sales data, whether the product is say or sold, how brilliant is the sales marketing for a particular product. I'm taking it as pd.read underscore CSV. Okay, the type is data frame. Here we have, excuse me, we've got 78,000 rows and 19 columns. I'm taking the header. It's for car accessories. You know, different cars, from which region, North Pacific, Pacific, Midwest, how it is routed to the market, through the field, a reseller, or through the company itself. So let's see, this major data is they're finding to analyze using which method they're able to find the maximum sales. This opportunity result is a target. So when you come into modeling, we have two things. One is data and the other is a target. Using the data, I'm going to analyze using the different headers that I need to use it. I'll be able to find out whether the target is the one or not. If I'm getting the list of marks of students, I should be able to, my target will be whether the student is passed or failed. If I'm getting the blood values of a particular patient, I can say whether the patient is a diabetic or not. If I'm going to scan the with and without tumors of patients, the MRI or the CT scan or image. When I scan it, it should say whether the patient is there, I've got disease or not. So that what is my output will be my target. And say for example, if I'm going to do the student's academic performance evaluation, if my data set has got the student name, the student age, date of birth, their address, their blood value, their mobile number, their father name, the mother name, the father occupation, mother's occupation, these everything will be the data. And then for that academic year, the first, second, and the third month marks are there. By the month of fourth, if you want to do the academic performance, for me, the other data are not needed to find the academic performance of a student. For me, I need the name of the student and just the mark. So when you develop a model using machine learning or deep learning, you should be very careful in selecting what are the columns. There are various optimization algorithms available to select and extract the features. To select and extract the features before you develop a model, right? So if it is not done with the development, we will not say it is a very good model that has been developed. All right. So I'm using the sales data.head of. Okay. So these things that I showed you. I'm just doing the normal pre-processing. Here you can see I'm using a label encoder. I told it if variables are there in numerics, in categorical, it cannot be done. So we are converting into numeric. Once it is done, all my variables will be into numeric. Let's waste time. Yeah, got it. So I'm not going to run whatever is of pandas or whatever it is of visualization we have already done. So only these columns are of categorical values. So using this label encoder, I'm going to convert the categorical values into the numerical values. Okay, once it is done, I'm going to split my data into data and target. My data, I'm going to take all the columns. I'm going to drop these two columns. Okay, whenever axis is equal to 1, it specifies, yeah, we'll close. We've got 1 minute to go. Okay. So this is how you develop your models. Okay, we develop the models, and lot of videos are available on my YouTube channel. Okay, about the step by step, you can see to it. And today we have seen about, you can visit my company's website, and which is called CIRF.co.in. All right. Free, you can visit our website. We train a lot of people on data science, machine learning, and deep learning. If there is a requirement for you, if you want to learn, and also web development using the Django and other normal web development using HTML5. Okay, we give training for faculties, for students, and even we develop for corporates. These are the data science courses available, and these are the different webinars whatever I have taken during this pandemic situation. Okay, and other things are there. This is about using Python. Okay, you can see to it. You can subscribe to my channel. I'll share the link of today's session. Any doubts till now, you can just post it. So we started with what is Python, the importance of Python, then data science, what is data science, then the different packages, the NumPy, SciPy, Matplotlib, Seaborn, and about any doubts? I'll share this link with you, and I'm winding it off the session. Thanks for joining the entire session, whatever I have done. I'll post it on the chat to everyone. Thank you. Thanks for joining the entire session, whatever I have done. I'll post it on the chat. All right. So I'll share my contact details. You can make a note of it. You can feel free to contact me if you've got any doubts in data sciences using Python. I would like to thank the organizer for giving me this opportunity to share these thoughts with you. Over to the organizers.
Thank you, Doreen ma'am, for empowering us with Python libraries like NumPy, SciPy, and Jupyter. They are extremely useful now. We understood that Python has become the most important language for data science. Overall, presentation was interesting and mind-blowing. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot for your joining us with today's class. Thank you.
Well,
Participants, it's free for lunch now. Yes, ma'am. Tell me, ma'am.
thank you, ma'am.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Really enjoyed the session. Thank you. Participants can go for lunch now. 12:45, the next session will begin. The link will be sent newly. You can join with that. Thanks a lot to all participants. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all.
Welcome, ma'am. God bless.
Thank you.
Okay, so shall we start now?
Thank you, participants on YouTube. Yeah, I will share the feedback link on the comments. God bless you all.